2. The Western Conference Finals return to Lower Bricktown with a best of 7, now a best of 3.
Right now, let's go, show, man. We take our own court, man. Have fun with this thing, man.
Let's go, baby.
Be confident. Us on 3, 1, 2, 3. Us.
Whoever hit first, whoever won it all, that's what's going to win tonight.
That's a little out. Wemby got a beautiful finish with one hand. Kane lifting, launching, knocking a three. McCain feeling it, fucking it.
Jared McCain could be mayor of this city right now.
Game number 5 to the Thunder. One win from a return to the finals.
I've been saying it all year. We're a group of 1 through 15. You know, we wouldn't be this deep in the season without everybody on the team, and it just showed again tonight.
Game 6 is tonight, and the Thunder are looking to advance to the NBA Finals for the 2nd straight year. So let's just take a look back here. This is going through our scorebook, games 1 through 5. Game 1, remember, it was a huge game for Victor, and it was defined by one big shot. It was this pull-up from Steph Curry range to tie the game in overtime, a historic 40-20 game from Victor. But for OKC, they really just didn't look like themselves here in Game 1. That's in large part because Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, their MVP, only shot 7 for 23. But Game 2, we saw a complete 180. No turnover troubles for OKC. Turnover troubles here for San Antonio. Dylan Harper left with an injury. OKC really capitalized. SGA bounced back 30 points, 12 of 24 shooting, and that allowed the Thunder to tie up the series. So when the series went to San Antonio, the Thunder kept rolling in. The bench stepped up. They combined to score 76 points. And despite another big game from Victor Wembanyama, his bench was only able to chip in 23. It was the Thunder who took a 2-1 series lead. Game 4, though, that was another shift back to what we saw of Game 1. SGA, he struggled to get going. He failed to reach 20 points for just the 2nd time this season. Meanwhile, huge response for Victor and the Spurs, including this memorable half-court buzzer-beater halftime shot. What a game. And then it was a complete opposite again. We're seeing this back and forth happen a lot. Victor struggled to get going in Game 5. He only shot 4 of 15 from the field, including 3 of 11 when he was guarded by Isaiah Hartenstein. A 32-point night for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. And that brings us to this Game 6. So let's check in with our starters. They're always putting up big numbers. Tim MacMahon, Michael C. Wright covering Oklahoma City, covering the San Antonio Spurs for us. Tim, I'm going to start with you on the OKC side here because we heard from Shams earlier in the game. It doesn't sound likely, although J-Dub is questionable, that he is going to play in this one. So how are the Thunder planning to continue to adjust here?
Howdy, Malika. Look, J-Dub's been questionable the last 3 games, and the routine's been he does his pregame shooting thing. They rule him out 45 minutes before tip. But these have not been game-time decisions. As a matter of fact, Jared McCain was informed before shoot-around going into Game 5 that he would be in the starting lineup. And Jared McCain has really become one of the main characters for the Thunder, not just this series, but over these last couple rounds. This is the one guy in the rotation who wasn't part of the championship run last season, who doesn't have a championship ring, but he has what these guys call contagious confidence. Doesn't matter if he's made or missed his last shot, his last few shots, they know it's going up when he's got to look. They want him to let it fly. That's why they plugged him into the starting lineup, to give him some offensive juice. And he also just has this upbeat, always smiling kind of person. And I think it might have rubbed the Spurs the wrong way, judging by a little Plumlee elbow and Biyombo giving him the hard foul. But we'll see if Jared McCain, with that jump shot, will be smiling while they are accepting a Western Conference championship trophy. Because if the Thunder can win this one tonight, there will be a ceremony right here midcourt in San Antonio.
Right. I am curious to see whether or not, if J-Dub is in fact not able to go, if they stick with Jared McCain in the starting lineup. He started slow, but he had a huge second half for OKC. Michael, on the Spurs side of all of this, Victor Wembanyama, we've talked about it a lot. He struggled in Game 5. He didn't speak to reporters after the game, so we haven't actually gotten a chance to hear straight from him. But what have you heard about how he was digesting that game, about how he plans to respond tonight?
Well, the interesting part about that is we still haven't talked to Victor Wembanyama, but I am told that his decision to not speak with the media was sort of like this internal motivation thing. I don't know if I necessarily buy that, but you also have to understand that Victor Wembanyama is the same guy that said he refuses to carry the burden of hiding his emotions. So obviously it was an emotional game, and there was a lot of buzz in the locker room about them being upset about the refs. So maybe him not talking saved him from saying something that he would have regretted. But I got to tell you, Mitch Johnson, he said Victor Wembanyama has to take more than 15 shots in Game 6. He's got to have more than 20 points. Steph Castle said, look, we understand that Vic is trying to play the right way, but we need Victor to be aggressive because when he's aggressive, it opens up shots for everybody else.
And maybe that's what we saw Keldon Johnson trying to say to him in that very KD Draymond-esque moment that we ended up seeing ahead of Game 5. We will see how Victor responds here in this all-important winner-go-home Game 6. Gentlemen, thank you very much. Enjoy the game. Michael, to your point, Wemby, though, he went for just 20 points, 27% shooting in Game 5. That's after he scored 30 a game on 53% shooting in the first 4 games. In fact, he made at least half his shots in each of his first 4 games before that Game 5 where he had a little bit of a clunker here. But, Shanae, there's a big reason why. It's not just Wemby struggling. Someone is doing this to him. Tell us what's going on here.
You know what the kids love to say? He understood the assignment. This is an assignment right here, this matchup. Isaiah Hartenstein taking on Victor Wembanyama, and he got a check mark in the last game. Let's show his impact because he helped limit Victor Wembanyama to 4-15 from the floor. First and foremost, Victor, he pushes him outside the lane to get him to the top of the key, and he's able to guard him in single coverage and have a good contest. That's one. That's on the inside. Now let's talk about the outside because Victor Wembanyama going into Game 5 was shooting 43% from 3. He has his feet outside ready to defend, but most importantly, he has help on the backside. Shout out to Casey Wallace for being able to react here, slow Victor down so that he buys Hartenstein some time. And now, once again, he's on an island in single coverage, and he's able to, as Perk would say, move those puppies and contest. That was the effort defensively that Hartenstein had. Now let's switch over to offensively because it's wild. The Thunder, they shot 69%, 11 for 16 on Victor because of plays like this and shots like this. The patented floater that he has with the left. It's really nice, and it's because Victor often sees himself in help side. Watch here. This is where Hartenstein is. He's in the dunker spot. Again, Victor is in help side guarding 2, which means he's a step late. Hartenstein makes the right read. The extension is there. I always say that his wingspan is infinite. He knocks his floater down. Another possession. He's always moving without the basketball. He's looking for it too. Here, he's generating offense. Here's a nice little slam screen. Once again, Victor's in a conundrum. De'Aaron Fox is late. Here, he's having to guard here. And then again, Hartenstein able to create enough separation for him to get his floater. Again, Victor Wembanyama, I'm excited for the response, but that is the matchup, both on offense and defense, that will really dictate how the Spurs extend potentially this series.
Yeah, Isaiah Hartenstein, Shanae, has been phenomenal. And Brian, Mitch Johnson, he talked about Wemby needing to take more than 15 shots. It's not just the makes, it's the number of looks that he's getting. How can the Spurs help him get there tonight?
I loved everything that Mitch Johnson said, and I'm sure he said the same things to Victor. And I know that this sounds like old man 1965 analysis, but he needs to go be by the basket. His size, every step he goes to the basket, his size matters more. His size around the basket is so vitally important in a game like this. Look, I understand that his 2 most amazing moments in this series were long 3-pointers. And certainly you do not want to stifle his ability to stretch the floor and put the defense in a bad spot. But in a game like this where you need efficient scoring and you are playing the powerhouse team defensively that the Thunder is, you've got to use your size to the advantage. Whether that's finishing those alley-oops where you put the Thunder in tough rotation, or it's just going in there and trying to get to the foul line. He did a good job of that in Game 5. He's got to use his size. In an elimination game, being 7'5" has got to be the difference.
And sometimes it's just that simple, right? Victor has to be able to really go inside, use his size, to your point. And we're not saying it all falls on Victor Wembanyama, but we know that Dylan Harper is struggling with injuries. We know that De'Aaron Fox isn't 100% here. And so Victor has to set the tone if we want to see this series be pushed to a Game 7 here. Let's go back east here as NBA Today rolls on, because Jalen Brunson, he's lit up the Big Apple. Monica McNutt, she's stopping by in a matter of minutes to discuss Brunson's New York